Hey, Nacho.
Hey, Bryce. Good morning.
Good evening or afternoon.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine. Fine. Yeah. Was working on OpenTelemetry currently.
Let's
How
see.
about you?
Right now, what I'm working on is I'm doing some testing of our APM server, our collector for they are adding tail-based sampling, and I'm running tests
Okay.
on that. I did just update our SDK to the latest version, the 1.10 of the Swift SDK, so that's good. But yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of work on mobile or iOS recently.
Okay. Tests are good. Or did you find some nasty bug?
Yeah, actually, some interesting stuff going on. I can't really explain it, but some things are not working as expected, so that's good.
Okay.
It's not a wasted effort.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been working mainly on the async await thing.
That sounds fun.
Again, because I put a point to explain that later in the meeting, just to give some touches, just if your issues were related to that. I know there are some limitations that still won't work as we would like to, but yeah. So, and also, did you see an issue? Yeah, I don't think you saw that, right? Something about Elastic in a GitHub issue. I tried to mention you.
That's weird. Was that just recently?
2 days ago, I created a. I don't know if I put your name in the topic with the at before the name.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
To mention you, so I thought you will receive a notification, but yeah.
Yeah, I've got it now. That's unusual.
Okay. Yeah, it's Elastic. So he asked for someone who had Elastic connections, and probably you were the one with better Elastic connections. Yeah. Yeah, I can share. Let me share the screen.
Sure.
Yeah, even this one is the topic. Just for be not too.
Yeah. I was looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's the what's the logic there in the back, in your backend or in your server. So yeah, I created here the mention. I thought you will receive an email.
Yeah, I got it. It's just weird because I feel like I checked my email yesterday. I haven't checked it today yet, but I checked it yesterday and I didn't see any new issues. So that's weird. I don't know. Maybe it just slipped my mind.
Okay. Yeah, and Sherlock has been added as a pair of pull requests with the attribute things. So yeah, some interesting stuff that we were missing about the making the attributes more consistent and that stuff. So yeah, that I approved them recently.
Cool.
But okay, let's go with the agenda. If you have any topic there, if you want to add anything, if not, we can end as soon as everything is talked and you can continue your work. My day is ending, so I don't have a rush or meetings or anything like that. So probably you are now more with more things on your mind. So last meeting actions, we had the compatibility plan approved. So we talked about some interesting PRs that we changed, and we released the version 1.1.0 that you are just now testing, Bryce.
Yeah.
Any issue that you are finding that we can help you with?
Not that I could tell. Yeah, it seems like everything's working as expected.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds strange if I say surprising, but no, I mean, it's working quite well. For my project, for example, is working really well in the things I am using, but maybe some exporter or something that it's not in my usual tooling, maybe that can have problems, but
Yeah, that makes it hard because there's so many, we all have our, preferred method of exporter, right? Like I use the OTLP exporter, so it's like, I don't know if the Zipkin one's working, who knows?
yeah, that, for example, yeah, that there could be issues there. That's not very much tested, so yeah. So okay, so that's all for we didn't have more actions last week. Today, just to talk, I would say starting yesterday and today, I have been working on the automatic context handling for the new async await libraries, because Apple is releasing backporting these changes to iOS 13 an app with the new Xcode 13 beta, Xcode 13.2 beta. So that's probably coming soon, and some of our users will probably be interested in adding async await to all the frameworks out there. We might think about supporting that in our library and having async await methods that we have talked previously, that probably exporting is something that will work perfect with async await, because we can check asynchronous the status and that stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I have been thinking a bit about increasing our library to support async await, but that can be a hard task, so still not. But yeah, just if you are interested or something like that, maybe we can try to add something there. But I have been working mainly on the automatic context handling inside async await. You know that it doesn't work the previous approach we had with activity.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I implemented a way to use the task local infrastructure that comes with a new concurrency. But as I said, what I implemented it was working on the simple stuff. But now thinking more about that, I have seen that it could fail in some situations. For example, if you have some, how to say, some asyncs inside another asyncs, it was failing to recover the parent expander, the parent context, because it was removing that. So I have been adding tests and modifying the code of that. So working on that to have better support for more cases. And yeah, and I also have been testing that we cannot remove the activity thing even if the task local works. Because, for example, if you have the async queues code that work asynchronous, it's not integrated with the task local either. So the task local is not copied when you run. For example, let me show.
So the dispatch queues async is very different from the async await.
Yes,
it's totally different.
It uses some infrastructure. I mean, it uses probably Grand Central Dispatch queues in its own way, but it's not integrated with your Grand Central Dispatch queues, for example. So that can be quite problematic. So let me share, for example, Xcode. Yeah, I'm working with the beta now. So one of the tests I was doing, I don't know if, yeah, is this one. It creates a span, sets the current context value on the span, and it checks that it's being set correctly and creates another asynchronous span in this async method. So it works asynchronously until you call await. Here it's calling await directly. So just because I want to check that it's working as expected. So the point here is that this one is correct, but when you start at another span and you end that span, here it also, I mean, it's just creating the span and ending it. And when you end it here, this one was falling. It was not reporting the parent span here, but it was removing also that. So if you have two spans in an asynchronous, it was being removed. So was working on supporting this, that now is working. Now I want to work in another, in a, how to say, in a await of await of await methods. So just to check that we are not losing there, because this one, just this one level with two spans inside the async method was failing. So just working on that to have support. I don't know if I will find a solution for everything, because as you know, it's not a standard support. We are using some internal methods here, for example, now using a queue, so we can push and pop from the queue for each task local. That should be, that this is the value that will be copied with all the async await that happens inside each task created there. But yeah, let's see if that works. Also, for example, if we remove all the async await, the thing I was saying that was that, let me check. Yeah, for example, this one, if I only use if I only use the task local thing, removing the activity one, whenever I set the active baggage and create this async in a global queue, this one is nice, but I am waiting for this remove in the parent, and it's a bit convoluted. But the thing is, I set a current baggage, I create another queue, and in that queue, I check that I always have the same parent baggage. So the baggage is transmitted the same as will happen with a span context. So this is the same logic, but the point is that if I remove the activity stuff, this that runs after this remove context fails. So the thing is that the task local thing is common to all the code outside and inside the queue. And that doesn't happen with the activity. So in this case, with activity, this is correct. That is what we expect, because we don't want to remove the current anything inside a queue, but it was was being removed here. So I don't know if I have explained correctly or things like that, but try to. So what was failing with the previous task local context manager, that was the one using the task local stuff and the concurrency, and why we cannot only use this for some other stuff, because we fail as shown in this example. I tried removing it, and I was seeing that it was being a common task local for everything. So that was not what I was expecting. So yeah, so we need both, and we need both to work well together. That it looks a bit more convoluted and difficult, but yeah, I think we at least will try to solve the most common ways. until we find some corner case. I have still not found it, but
Okay,
Yeah.
do you have this up on a branch at all?
no,
No.
I can create a branch.
Yeah, I'd be interested in poking around at it a little bit. Just
Okay.
to,
I mean, it's more, I mean, the task local context manager, the current version, yeah, but it only works with, if you are using, I mean, the new Xcode 13.2
yeah,
includes Swift 5.5.2,
okay,
and that's the version that supports iOS 13 and macOS 10.15.
mhm,
The other one I have, this is not correct. This should be, yeah, this is, okay, now it's correct. So if you are using Xcode 13, it includes concurrency. But if you don't use Xcode 13.2, your Swift version is lower. So you need these versions to have this defined.
interesting.
If you have a newer Xcode, it's supported from this.
Mm,
So this is the only way I found to be able to support in both.
I see, I see.
The current code works like this. So if you are using Monterey in your Mac, for example, you could use this code, and you will find the same issues that I am finding with yeah, this test. I can create a branch and upload there, so we can. The only problem with branches is I can create a branch, but I cannot update the branch once it's uploaded to the project, because the policy for branches in the official project is that you cannot modify them once updated. So I can also I can create a branch in my fork, my personal fork, that the one I use for development, and you can take there from there if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I can create it. Just right now. Okay. I will improve it. See, it's
Very
not the
good.
official branch.
Yeah,
So this one, how can I share that? Hmm? No. Oh,
you know,
well,
push.
yeah.
Oh, view
I
all.
have not pushed. Oh, could be. Yeah, I think I did, right? Or not? Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
So yeah.
Cool.
So let me share here the. How can I copy that?
Maybe you can just throw it in the meeting doc next to the,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I was going to copy here, but yeah, probably the meeting doc is better. Okay. Yeah, my idea is working on that tomorrow and try to improve it better with more tests. So yeah, the tests are, yeah, the tests are in their own in their own file that they created
okay.
new. So
Yeah.
this is the
Is
first
another-
test.
It's another API test.
Sorry.
Is it under the API tests?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
these are the API tests. Yeah, just
Yeah.
using the task local context manager, not creating automatic, it's not a spam builder or anything like that. Because in the API, the spam builder is very limited and the tracer is also very limited, and you cannot, it doesn't handle context, you cannot set active and doesn't pass the context because it's very limited. Is the no operation implementation. So you should move to SDK to have proper behavior. So yeah, you can test here, test, and after that test your implementation and run all the tests of the project. So you can see where things are failing and that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I want to wrap my head around the problem a little bit better.
Okay.
Cool.
So yeah.
The dog keeps biting my toes, so I have to
Yeah.
hold him.
Yeah, he's asking for your attention. Yeah. And yeah, that's from my side. I have no other topics. Do you have any?
I didn't have any.
Okay. So yeah, if you find some issue with your work, Bryce, please let me know or push to a Slack channel and we can talk about it and try to find solutions if there is some bug there. Yeah.
Sounds good.
See you guys.
Okay. See you next week then.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
Too.
Yeah. Bye.